Okay, I am live. I want to apologize, everyone. I've had technical difficulties this morning, but I think things are fine now. So, uh, let's get this show on the road. Let me tell you what, I'm not going to bash Hangouts, but sometimes these things do not work, man. Let me tell you. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, welcome, everybody. No more here, and I wanted to bring on a special guest today. David is the man that I'm just going to let him tell your story because I want to start, David, with explaining to everyone how we met at the event, and we're going to go from there because I've been trying to encourage people to find, experts in the industry to seek out and actually help them, you know, get better at what they're doing because I know I wouldn't be in the position I am had I not ever met you. And I would just want to add on that when we were at that event, I heard your name, and the first thing I thought was, who is that guy? I want to know that guy. And I seeked out Dr. Ben himself and said, who is that David guy again? And he said, there he is. And after that, nothing but history.
That was history.
That was an epic event. I mean, it really was. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, David, because I call you the underground marketer. Most people don't really know who you are, and when it comes to video, they have no clue who you are. They should. I know my people really don't, but just take it
I,
away, man.
I think that's intentional. But anyway, my name is David Schloss. Some of you may or may not know who I am. I do appear on many people's Facebook pages, so just look around once in a while. Um, Lem and I met at Breakout 2013, which was Ben Adkins' event, which also had Ryan McKinney, Robert Stukes, Tim Castleman, Colin Terriot, and I'm missing someone. Somebody else. But the point is, there was a lot of people, and at the time, I was launching a product with Ben Adkins called Evil Video Magician, and I'm sure a lot of people saw that product because that was a mass broadcast. Everyone who knows Ben or is on his list saw that product at least once somewhere on Facebook or in email. And not a lot of people promoted it, but still, a fair amount of people saw that image of that product appear somewhere online. And if not, you probably tried to, download it on a black hat site. And I'm just being true. So I launched that product at the time, and during that moment, for that month, I was known as the video guy, the guy that on a webinar ranked a video in under 5 minutes, live on a webinar. And everyone was asking me questions, how do I rank this video? How do I rank this? This was before Hangouts became popular in ranking. This was just strictly video. And everyone was asking me questions, but then Lem got to me towards the end of the event, and then it was game on. It was every question he could think of. It was, how long is your description? What kind of tags do you use? What keywords have you ranked for? I mean, you name it. How do you make a video? I mean, it's like everything was being asked, and with good reason. I can get it, but I was the guy that everyone was reaching out to during that moment, and Lem and I connected because he was asking so many questions. He sat next to me during some of the keynotes to ask more questions. I mean, this was not this is just what it was, and that's how we met. And ever since then, over the last year, it's been occasional, what you up to? Have you figured anything out? When I figure something out, I share it, and that's just how Lem keep in contact with each other, how we keep in contact with each other, because I'm still doing video, but I do many other things now since that event that further enhance how I do video marketing. And that's why Lem considers me underground, because you don't see me launching anything, but you see me making people a lot of money, and I just sort of laugh in the corner and just do what I'm doing. And that's what I'm known for, just being really smart at strategic marketing tactics, and then just going forward with that.
See, a lot of people, well, a lot of you guys don't realize that David has set up so many sales funnels for some big names in the industry, And that's why I call him the underground marketer, because he has so many skills that he brings to the table. Now, when he's explaining stuff to me, I'm like, what did you just say? And he has to dumb it down for me. But I want to go back because I do remember that night. There was a lot going on at the breakout event, and David, I was asking him how to rank something, and he said, dude, if you go here and look at the replay, you'll find just basically everything. So
Hmm.
I went back to my hotel room that night, didn't do anything but get on the computer and watch that replay about 3 times.
I remember.
Yeah, and I had to know because I was like, man, video marketing is huge right now. I want to go back and start doing things, you know. And there was a lot of missing pieces that I didn't have that I knew that he would have. And oh, it's a lot of missing pieces actually. I mean, it was like a whole book.
And
I was like,
and and at that time, even though video marketing right now seems to have this resurgence and it's more in depth, at the time, strategy for video marketing was not being explained thoroughly, right? At that time, which was only a year ago,
yep.
everybody was explaining video marketing in like five steps. And I did one webinar with Ben. It was an hour and a half that explained it in every possible step. It's like, okay, it's 5 steps just for the description. I don't know where you guys think you could rank a video in 5 steps unless you're spamming. So I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. And a lot of people gave me flack for that. They're like, oh, you do too many steps. It's not going to work. It's like, are you dumb? I have all these case studies that prove that I'm right, and it's still there. Like, I have videos still ranking from 2010, still on the first page. Spam to death, fake views to death, but guess what? Everything else is set up the right way, so it's still there. And I know plenty of people who do that, 10 steps to ranking on page 1, and then their stuff's gone by the time the launch goes out. It disappeared in 2 or 3 days. And that's the truth. So if you're, going through a video marketing product these days, you'll see it's more in depth because they know they have to stick. And at the same time, everyone has their own spin to their strategy. It's all the same stuff, but there's a spin, that one little thing that's missing that could make you X amount of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, which is where when I started, I was teaching the bare bones, get this right, make your videos stick strategy, and Lem turned it into how to get clients, which a lot of people want to learn, and it's the truth.
Yeah, it's true.
We all want to know something, and I guess in your case it was clients, and mine was just ranking. So
Right. And that's
it.
one of the reasons why I suggest people in our groups to actually reach out to someone who they're going to click that knows a little bit more than them, because I don't know. When it comes to David, I'm obviously the dumbest person in the room. But there are some client things he might ask me, what are you doing to do this? And it works out, But I don't know how that little bit is going to help him, but I'm just saying. But when it comes to things like this, it's so important for you guys to find someone in your group that you can mastermind with and actually do things and, get accountable for. David, as far as getting clients, what is your best way to get clients? Because I know everyone is always talking about getting clients, and I don't want to just use my version. I want to hear a little bit about how you have done in the past, because, keep in mind, guys, he's not doing that much of video marketing these days. He sets up sales funnels for people. He creates launches for people. So just give me an idea, and it's a whole different way. And I know he's probably going to say is you got to go to events and meet people, but I'm talking about on a personal level, your local clients.
Yeah, the way I do it is very unconventional. I still have a local marketing agency. All right, well, let me rephrase that. In a internet marketing world, I have a local marketing agency. In actuality, I have local clients that I market on a national level. Let me put it that way. So I have a marketing agency, a real one. When I get clients, which is very few and far between these days, there are 3 ways I get clients. Someone referred me, very simple, like, oh, David did a great job, here's his info, contact him. And in one phone call, I will close them. If I can't get them to commit to a certain amount of money, I don't want to talk to them again. I know you typically are supposed to nurture clients and everything, or potential clients, but I'm busy. I don't have time to jump on 5 calls before you decide I'm going to give you $500. Like, get out of my way. I'm sorry. I have to go
Yeah.
deal with people who have 10 grand they need to spend in a week, you know? So I when I do referrals, I have to be very, you know, I have to be strong with the number. You know, if it's a referral, they know I do great. I need to get them to commit that same day. The second way I get a potential client is I actually set up a I've done this recently. I set up a video through Hangout that I rank incredibly fast. And I'm talking within less than 24 hours. And recently, and you know this because I ran some tests,
Now,
I
now,
ranked,
now, don't give your secrets too much right now
I'm
here.
not, I'm not giving them away,
Okay,
but,
color code that for
but
purposes, all right?
I ranked one of these videos in about 15 minutes. And what I've been doing recently is I'll hit up local businesses. Like, let's say I want to, let's say, sign on a dentist, right? I don't want to give away the niche I've been targeting, but let's say I was going after a dentist. I'd hit them up with a cold email
Boom.
first, and then I'd call them later in the day. So I give them a cold email at time of opening. So if I know that this office is opening at 10, the email comes in at 9:59 because I know it's going to be at the top of their inbox, right? At the same time, I then call that same office at the end of the day, right before, not right before they close, but about an hour before they close. So if they close at 6, I call them at 5 because by then they're dumbing things down, they're signing things out, they're putting things away. Least amount of phone calls come in at the end of the day. So I call and I say, hey, my name is David. I sent an email to blah, blah, blah. I just want to make sure he or she received it. Oh, what was it in regards to? Oh, I'd like to send you guys some patients. Really? How? I'd like to explain it more in detail with the person who wants more patients. Oh, okay, cool. I get on the phone with the dentist and I say, hey, did you see that video I sent you? If they say yes,
Boom.
if they say yes, I say, guess what? I did that in 15 minutes, and I could do the exact same thing for you. Oh, and if they don't want it because they're not sure if it'll bring them any clients or any patients, I tell them I'll put a call tracking number in the video, and if it brings you 2 or 3 patients, let's work something out. Okay, sounds good. And you know me, I'm gonna blast traffic at that video, and within about a week, I'll have enough data to go, here you go, right? Now, that's my video way of doing it. That's people have been doing that for years, but I'm very, I get right to the point. I don't like to play games on the phone, and I know a lot of people like to maneuver their way in because they know this person has money, but there's so many businesses out there that start and are already out there. It's like, okay, if I didn't get dentist A, there might be dentist B who just opened an office down the street that no one has talked to because they haven't even been listed yet in the majority of the directories, but they're still in Google, so I'm going to contact them. So I never get worried about that. And then my third way is lately I have been just talking to people on LinkedIn, which is very surprising that I'm getting contacts through LinkedIn for client work because I guess my profile just looks amazing. They see all the people I'm working with and all the articles I've written and whatnot, and they're just like, hey, could you do that for me? I'm like, yes. Now, if they come in through LinkedIn, I'm going to charge them a lot of money because they see my credentials and they shouldn't expect cheap work. So I automatically put them at a tier. They're at a higher tier than the other 2 ways that I get clients.
Yeah, I got to be honest. When I first started dabbling with LinkedIn, I was scared because there's some serious money on there. I mean, you got to have your game face on ready to go because these are the big boys. And I've actually, reached out to a client there from LinkedIn, and I call it the stalking method,
hmm
finding everything about their business, everything about their lifestyle, and go. But I want to go back to everything you just said. There is something that I've been telling people. Hit it with a cold email, video, and boom. I'm just curious. Do you use Yesware, anything like that, or you just completely going into it?
I set up my I set up a domain, like my business is Rampify,
Right.
rampify.com. I use pretty link and I pretty link the YouTube link, right?
Right.
So it says rampify.com slash free gift for you slash this is for you. I've even creeped people out and put their name, right? So rampify.com slash David, check this out, right? And they're like, what is this, right?
Right.
And in the email, I don't just put a link. I put two arrows pointing directly at the link, one in the beginning and one at the end. It's like you can't miss it. And I bold the link so it's extra blue, so it's like click it, right? And I'll set up a dedicated page on my site with the video, with their name in the title and the video, and beneath the video it says, hey, such and such, this video is for you, dot, dot, dot. There's nothing else on the page. And I've set it up to where the page does not show my services. It does not show anything. It's just a page, a blank page with my logo and the video for them. Because I know that if there's something else for them to click, they're going to click it.
Right.
I only want them to click on the video. This takes a little bit of technical know-how, but it is the best way to get someone to go, what is this? And you don't want to send them to YouTube because it's branded with YouTube. At least that's my way of doing it. So
Right.
if I send them to my site and they see the videos there and their name is there, they're going to click it. And that's how I set it up.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That is something I'm gonna have to bug you about later.
That's
Now, David, I want you to be honest, and I want you to tell people how much I have really, really bugged you within like the first year. I mean, let everyone know how much I really wanted to know.
once or twice a week for the past 54 weeks. So,
He's probably forgetting some on the days he didn't answer. He's like, Lim, it's a Saturday.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. A lot of people here still probably don't realize who you are. With your expertise and all, if you were to start all over and you know that video marketing could help a business, do you go into a business, or well, let me just say this. Do you feel like you're bothering people, or do you feel like your knowledge is so intense that they really need you? What is your mentality on that?
I'm a confident person, and I think you already know this.
Right?
When I talk to a business person, let me backtrack here because I didn't think this way 2 years ago. I
Right.
used to think at the time I was 23. I'm 25 years old, and I'm this confident in myself because I know I'm good. Like
Right.
that's it. People think I'm full of myself, and then I say the results speak for itself,
Yep.
buddy. So 23 years old, I was like, I'm the young guy. No one wants to listen to me. I don't have enough information to go, I'm 23. I know what I'm talking about. I've walked into offices where the 35-year-old marketing manager knows absolutely less than me, but they won't give me a dollar because they think I'm trying to steal their job when I'm trying to work with them. So what do I do? And by the way, this doesn't have to do with age. This was my limitation. 23-year-old. At the time, I only had a goatee, slightly overweight, walking in with a suit. It's like, okay, no one believes me.
Right.
I'm just some guy trying to promote myself. But over the past 2 years, what I've seen as the way to get around that is I'm confident. I have the proof, and I know for a fact that if I show them that I'm trying to help versus take, they're more susceptible to working with me. Like, I don't sit down with them unless they've already agreed that what I have to offer is something they're willing to pay for. That's why I make a phone call. I'm not going to drive to an office and get rejected. Because if I am going to get rejected, I make sure they're going to pay for my gas and they're going to buy me lunch. Because I am not going there for free.
Right.
And
Nice.
by the way, if you position yourself like that, and I've done this, Lem knows this. I've been to a meeting where it looked like they were going to pay me, and they rejected me. I sent them an invoice for my lunch and my gas. And they said, what is this? I said, you wasted my time, and technically I charge $500 an hour. I was there for 2 hours, and I'm only charging you for lunch and my gas.
Yeah, that's $1,000. You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean? And they were shocked. They're like, "Do you really think we're gonna pay this?" I'm like, "No, but I'm sure that your competitor down the street would love to pay me."
Boom. There you go. Got the edge there on them.
That's like a big slap to the face. Like if you were in front of the boss and the boss said, "Well, what are you gonna do now?" That's like me slapping him in the face and saying, "I'm gonna go talk to Joe Schmo down the street because he'll pay me 2 times as much and he's gonna be running to the bank."
That's
Good
right.
luck, sir. Have a good day. And by the way, I have gone to the competitor business, worked with them, and then made a phone call back to that other business and have said, "Hey, I hope y'all are doing well. By the way, if you see yourself dipping down the page, I'm working with your competitor."
I love it.
I know it's kind of dickish,
Right.
but there's a reason. I'm doing this because I don't play games. I am
Right.
a business person.
Right.
If you want to make a sale, you need to be confident. If you want
Yeah.
people to believe in you, you got to be confident. And yeah, maybe doing that was not the right thing to do. But guess what? They can't do anything about me going to their competitor with the exact same strategy. I gave them a chance and they didn't take it.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
that's
sir.
it. You have to jump in there like I am the man and no one can do anything about it.
You see, I'm glad you said that because I had my business partner on the other day and he was saying that you have to walk into that place like you are the boss, like you are knowing, like you know what's going on. You can't walk in there like, oh, God, you know what I mean? You got to know that your stuff is correct and you got to be ready because they're going to give it to you. It doesn't matter who you are. They're going to have some objections for you and you've got to be ready for it. And you right there, you just like knew. But I just couldn't believe you sent the invoice though, man.
But think of it this way. I could have sent them my $500 an hour invoice,
Right?
but I sent them my gas mileage, how much it costs for my gas, the car that I own, and then the meal I ordered. And it was so detailed. They were like, "How do you remember all this stuff?" And I was like, "Do you guys not remember me being on my phone while you
Right?
guys were talking?" I was typing down all of my stuff. These are all
Wow.
tax deductions that you have to pay for. You know, but the point was I was very frustrated, obviously, that I spent 2 hours and got zero. You know,
Right.
and that's why I did that. But it positioned me as I don't play any games. That company ended up hiring someone for 3 times less than what I was offering,
Right.
and to this day they still have no results.
Wow. That
So
happens. That
yeah,
happens.
they've
Yeah.
emailed me. They've emailed me to do work with me, and I send them the same proposal I sent before. I said the strategies have changed, but the price is the same,
Right.
and never got a response. So
Wow.
that's just the way it is, man. Fort Lauderdale and Miami is very cutthroat when it comes to marketing agencies. It seems like everybody and their mom owns an agency here, but that's why you got to play that game.
Right. I mean, that I didn't really didn't clarify exactly what area you were in, but you are in the Florida area, and yes, I'm sure there are like a lot of agencies popping up left and right, and thank goodness that you have the credibility that that you've done for yourself. So, hey, you have not really you don't have to worry about much, but you still have to deal with the crap that goes with the game. You know.
Yeah, man. You got people ranging from the age of 16 all the way to as old as can be
Right.
who just start an agency because they can.
Right.
And then you got the people who've had agencies for 10, 15 years. Then you got people like me who are in the middle. Like I've been doing marketing for almost 8 years, but my agency has only been around since 2010, January 1st of 2010.
Right.
That was the day we started. And I'm in the middle. So you're going to have those days where you're primed for position to get a contract, and then the legacy agency, the one that has 15 years on you, jumps in there and it's like, "Hey, we have 50 employees, and that's why we could charge so little because we have a machine going in the background."
Right.
And you're like, I can't compete with that. But what I can compete with is I'm not going to treat you like another contract. I'm going to treat you like you're my business partner, and I'm charging more because I'm going to spend more time with you. So you have to be, positioned as that consultant, that coach, but also that service provider that's going to help you, obviously make more money. Because
Right.
if you can't provide a result, and I hate to say this, if you do SEO and you can't provide a result in 3 months,
I'm frozen, or either David frozen. I hope it's not me. Let's see. He might be able to come back here. Hmm. And I believe what he was about to say is, if you are doing SEO and you can't provide any results in 3 months, then you're going to be having a pretty bad luck with that client. Are you there, David? And this is the can you hear me? I can't hear you, David. There you go. Okay. All right.
there we
Um.
go.
Yeah. No.
Yay,
Right.
Google.
So I
All
want to
right.
touch on something that he said a while ago, as far as when you're going into an agency and the marketing agency, they have a manager slash project manager, whatever, whoever goes to the head guy and gets the check signed. You really do have to be on point with those guys. You have to make them understand you're not there to take their jobs. You're there to just help. And I think that has saved me a lot, because um, if I just go in and I'm just talking about this and that, what I can do for them, you got to think about it. They have steps. They have different employees they have to think about when they're starting to dwindle their budget. So the last thing you want to do is go in there and act like you're going to take over the whole marketing team. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah. You want to know a really cool way to get around that? Take a sheet of paper. If you're in the office, this is great because then it's
Right.
visual. Take a sheet of paper, put a line right down the middle. On one side, put marketing manager, and on the other side, put your name. So I'm going to put Lem, marketing manager, David, service provider. And then what I do is I say, tell me everything that you do. Everything that you do. And I'm not just talking about online marketing. Give me everything that you do. So we start to make this list. And of course, the marketing manager is always being thrown into everything.
Oh gosh, yes.
So that's why they have a job, because they're supposed to do everything.
Right.
So put everything on their side. Let's just say it's 20 items. Then what I do is I start to cross out all the stuff on their side that I could handle for a certain amount. And then I put it on my side. And let's say I'm trying to offer a contract for $2,000 a month, right? So I'm going to, let's say, move 10 items,
Right.
right? And I say, for $2,000 a month, do you feel that letting you focus on 10 of these 20 items will increase your revenue because you now have the time to do so while I handle these 10? And he or she might say yes or no. Now, if they say no, I say, well, why do you feel that me handling these 10 things will not increase your revenue? They tell me why. Usually it's really dumb. It's the truth. It's the truth. They're trying to come up with a reason to not give you money. It's the
Right.
truth. And
Right.
I tell them that it's funny. If they say no, one way or another, I know they're trying to say no. I say it's funny because the amount of time that you could spend doing this is the amount of time you could be spending doing other money-making activities that you know can make this $2,000 back and will improve your bottom line overall for the year because you're going to position yourself better in your marketplace. That's always my response when they're giving me a runaround with a no. Now, if they like what they see, I tell them, so what's stopping you from getting started right now so you can go focus on those 10 other things? Because I already know for a fact that as soon as we jump off this meeting, you're going to go do one of these 10 things.
Boom. That is so true. I've had that done to me before, and then I quit adding so much, to their plate, because I thought, are you serious? You're gonna take
Mm-hmm.
that idea I just gave you? Really? Well, good luck with that, because my plan, I know it's gonna be completely different from how you're gonna approach it. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, I never give away ideas in a meeting, ever. And never, ever, ever. Like I've been asked, so what would you do for us? And I always tell them I would do something with video, I'll
Right.
do something with a website, I'll do something with some ads, and I'll do something with your social media. What exactly? That's what you pay me for.
Right.
If you want to learn, you could pay my consulting rate.
There you go. There you go. And that's a good point, because if you start telling them how you do it, then they're
They'll
going to
do
try
it.
to find someone to undercut you. So you
Oh,
don't
they'll
want to
do
do that.
it. They
Yeah,
will
they
do
will.
it.
Yep. They will. Wow. So I know a lot of people are probably asking this, and I've had this in the past, but do you set contracts for over 6 months, or how do you do that? And this guy, everyone got to understand, David doesn't do like as much as what I do, because he's helping the internet marketing world become very wealthy. And so his situation is different. But as far as your local agency, how do y'all go with that?
We're very unconventional if you haven't figured that out yet.
Right.
I mean, I tell people that they're stupid sometimes. So what I've done is I've taken every contract that anyone's ever given to me or has told me like, oh, you got to do 6 to 12 months. No, no. If I can't get you a result in 3 months, you could leave. I've even done it where I told them our contract's month to month. If you want to leave in month number 2, go ahead. Because in my head, if I don't give them a string of any attachment, if I let them be free in knowing that I will get them a result one way or another in the
Right.
first 3 months, but they can leave, they're more susceptible to signing. And the contract itself states this is a month-to-month contract with a continuum of the amount that I'm charging them. They can cancel at any time within a 30-day period. So if they're in month number 2 and they cancel, I still bill them for month 3, but they're done after that.
Nice.
Now, if I know they're going to cancel because I know I'm going to get that extra 30 days, what I've done is I've used a portion of that profit. I've ramped up the campaign in that month that they're going to leave.
Right.
I send them extra leads, a couple extra customers, and I tell them, you see this little bump in our stats right here? I can continue to do that for you if you stay. If you don't, I turn it off tomorrow. And then usually, I've had a 25% success rate with people who are thinking about canceling and then they come back,
Right.
because I do that every time. Like, I know some people are probably thinking, why didn't you just give them more leads all the time? They weren't paying me for it. So I was basically just giving them a reason to stay. Now, if they came to me and decided, you know, here's $5,000, $10,000, good luck, and then generated all these leads, that's a different story. But I've had people who only give me $1,000 and they're expecting the world.
Right.
It doesn't always work that way. So it is really just month over month. At minimum, if I need a certain amount of time, like if I'm doing an SEO contract, 3 months, and they have to see some form of movement in that 3 month time span, or else they're gonna quit. They're gonna drop out. That's just me personally, and I know that it helps with my retention rate because they know that I do everything by quarter versus by half a year. Google's not your best friend. Google hates you. That's why they have updates. And
True.
and you need to be their, you need to pretend you're their best friend by following their guidelines, but you can't guarantee anything. So why put a 6-month mark on yourself, get results for 3 months, and then get smacked? Good luck trying to keep that client happy for the other 3 months of your contract. They're probably going to call you yelling every day.
I love it. And that's where you have a variety of services that you can offer them. I've learned that because I know that, video will be up for a good 4 or 5 months. Something will happen and then it's gone and it'll bounce back up. And so that is the way that I've saved myself. But let me ask you this. I think we've talked about this before in the past. When you're wanting to get someone fast results, what is your secrets? What do you do? We're going to give out one bone today, guys, okay? So what is it you do?
That's fine. This is what I do for everything. I created what I call hybrid packages.
Right.
And a hybrid package consists of 2 to 3 services combined into one. You have your short-term result service, your midterm meaning 3 to 6 months, and then your long-term strategy, all combined into one, but you're paying for everything at the same time. So your short term is always going to be paid traffic, right? They have to pay for something. Doesn't need to be a lot. It could be $250, $500. For a lot of local businesses,
Right.
$250 can go a long way because
Yep.
the traffic will cost 5 cents a click, you know?
Yep.
You know, if I have a dentist, I could put up a Facebook offer, and for $250, I bet you 100 people will claim it, and at least 25 of them will walk in that office and use it. And then all you have to do is teach the dentist how to upsell, right?
Right.
Now, with the hybrid, I do a PPC package that consists of either AdWords or Facebook. Then I do PPC with video. Video is the midterm strategy. And then once I rank some video, your typical SEO is your long-term strategy. So you do all three. And then I find a way to mix them. You know, so it's like I'll rank the video, I'll put the video on social, I'll promote it like crazy, put the video on the website, rank the website page with the video. You know, so I put them all together.
Right.
And then they all generate results one way or another. And that's what I do for all of my clients. If they don't want all three, or at least two of those, it has to be PPC and video, or PPC, video, and SEO. You can't just have SEO. You can't just have SEO and PPC, because I know I can rank video extremely fast. So I always tell them, one way or another, I'm going to do video for you. And if you want to only do SEO and PPC, you have to also pay for video, because that's a part of the strategy. So, you know, I've had people who fight with me telling me, I don't want it, I don't want it. I'm like, well, then too bad. You can go to someone else.
Right.
This is what I do, and you either accept it or you don't. And that's how I always have managed to get results, because you could show something with one of those three. You don't need to have results with all three. You need results with one. That's it. If you're only doing SEO and you only rank for 1 of 10 terms, they're going to think you suck. But if you have video, SEO, and PPC, the PPC is going to give you some immediate data. Then the video, you're going to rank extremely fast. And then the SEO is off in the dust, and you can go figure that out later. But when you show them the 10 videos you're ranking for and all this data from PPC, they're going to forget you're even doing SEO.
That's true. That is so true, because you have so much going on as a variety. I mean, I even mentioned Facebook stuff. I mean, it all comes together, and they're like, huh. And, you know, the bottom line is, I've learned from these companies, is they have an advertising budget they spend money on. They want to be seen. Yeah. And if they go look for themselves in whatever term or whatever, they see themselves, they're happy. And those guys are still putting up billboards all across the world and, you know, trying to make their stuff be seen, hopefully, from people driving in cars. But if you actually dominate their online presence and they see that, then you're in a pretty good position, which makes sense. That was a good bone. I like that. I mean, some of these guys in here probably don't know what PPC is, and we'll talk about that later. Don't get into it now, David. But you know.
I'm not going to get into it, but PPC is pay per click.
Right.
I'm paying for someone to click an ad. That's it.
Right. Awesome, awesome. So we're coming to an end here, because I'll try to keep it 45 minutes with you, and I appreciate your time. I want to ask you this one last question. If you were going to tell, let's say another Lemmy came and bothered you, and they said, I want to start doing video marketing for my local clients, what would be the best way for them to start? And they know how to rank a video. So what would be the best way to get them to start as far as getting clients? I know you gave your way of getting, you know, your system of email, but if it's just something, let's just say I'm just a shy person and I don't want to talk to people. What is your best, anything, just give it to me.
You have to do each of these. I'm not going to give you 20 steps, but you need these, okay? You need to have a one-page site for yourself. And by the way, if you go to Theme Forest, there's plenty of themes that are one-page themes. It's almost like having one page that says, hi, my name is David, I am awesome, contact me, right? It's just a one-page site. That one-page site is going to be where you brand yourself. So you're going to need that website, you know, davidschloss.com. That's not really my domain, but, you know, davidschloss.com. Then you need a YouTube channel with that same name. You know how to rank video, right? So go out there and rank some videos. You need at least 5 to 10 examples. You need them. This is not an excuse. You need them. Because if you're going to go talk to a dentist, you better have some dentist terms that you're ranking for. It's just as simple
That's
as
just
that.
what it is.
So get 5 or 10 videos ranked. And if you need videos done, go to Fiverr. Pay $5. Doesn't matter how good or bad they are, just rank them. Once you've ranked those terms, you now have a YouTube channel that's branded. You have a one-page site with your info on it. Doesn't need to look pretty. The point is it just needs to be there. That costs you what? A domain's $10. A theme is $40. Now you've spent $50.
Right.
Your YouTube channel's free. Let's just say you pay for a cover, a YouTube cover, $5. You spend $55 to get yourself looking professional. Okay? Now that you have those two things done, you need to go out there, send an email with your branded email. So if you have davidschloss.com, it needs to come from david@davidschloss.com, not a Gmail. Stop doing that. Send an email from your branded domain to these people saying, Lem, I'm sure, has better templates than I do because he has more success with it. But you need to send a cold email with the example of those keywords you've ranked for in that same niche. And you need to contact 5 or 10 people a day.
Boom. Yes. Thank you.
And that's it, because I bet you contact, let's just say 5 for the sake of the numbers. 5 people a day, email, every morning. By the end of that 5-day week, you've contacted 25 companies. And at the end of the days, like I do, you call 25 companies. So in a 5-day week, you've contacted 25 companies. And since I only target one company per city, per niche, like I won't take a dentist. I can't take 2 dentists in Fort Lauderdale. I only take 1. That's 25 opportunities for me to close 1. So if I close 1, that's a 4% conversion. That's all I need. I just need to close 1 out of 25. And if I can't close 1 out of 25, I need to go through some sales training. Because if I have case study info that states I could rank a video, I have a site that shows I've ranked video, because that site is obviously going to show information about me, what I do, my results. If you have those 2 things done and you can't close 1 out of 25 people, you need to learn how to talk to people over the phone and how to send a proper, non-salesy, but I am awesome type of email, because that's a lot of opportunity to close. And I know Lem and I we probably could on a good week talk to 10 people and maybe could close 3 or 4 of them because we know they're going to want what we need. But we're only going to take 1. So it gives us leverage. If you're brand new, you talk to 25 people, somebody's going to want to give you money. It may not be the amount you want, but someone's going to give you something. And once you have that information and those testimonials, that's when you're able to start selling for higher amount.
That is true. That's right on the money. And I have a question here, David. Someone said, if you can't get a hold of the owner, who should you get a hold of? And I always say the marketing manager, whoever is who controls the advertising. That's what I asked for. So,
I've done it a little different. Okay. I always try to do something different, because everyone always asks for the marketing manager or whoever controls the marketing department. I say, can I get in touch with the owner? Can I get in touch with whoever is in charge of the books? Sometimes that's the accountant, right?
Right.
They have a bookkeeper or an accountant. This is actually quite funny. I've had opportunities where I've spoken to the accountant. They know nothing about marketing. But why am I talking to the accountant? Because they know how much money the company has.
Right.
So when I've talked to an accountant, I say whoever's in charge of the money of the business. If I'm talking to the accountant, I say, is this business, is XYZ dentist able to afford more customers? What do you mean afford more customers? Of course we're able to afford them. Okay, well, how much money are you able to spend on advertising to acquire a new customer? Oh, well, we can, according to our books, we could spend $1,000. Boom! I know the amount.
Wow.
Now I know I can't offer them anything more than $1,000. So then I say, well, who do I talk to about getting you guys more customers? Oh, well, Susie, who runs our marketing, blah, blah. Cool, let me talk to Susie. Put me on the phone with Susie. Hey, Susie, so Brenda just told me you guys can only spend $1,000 to acquire new customers, and according to my research, a new customer is worth $200 a piece to you guys for the whole year.
Oh, that is brilliant because you have names now. You're not just a stranger, too. You have names, you know what's going on, the budget and everything. And they're like,
They don't always
yeah,
tell you, but they don't always tell you, but they give you estimates.
right,
So I don't try to talk to the marketing person because they don't know. They don't know
right,
the numbers. I try to talk to whoever knows the numbers. Now I know that that doesn't always work.
right,
Sometimes I'm still redirected to the gatekeeper, which is the front desk girl or whatever.
right,
But then I give the gatekeeper so much information, he or she gets confused, and they end up sending you to whomever would understand it. You
right.
know. So if the gatekeeper's just some girl or guy that they hired for $8 an hour to answer the phone, I say, hey, hi, Lem. Hey, Lem, look, I'm calling because I'm looking to give you guys some more patience, and I know it sounds a little weird, but I run an agency that helps businesses locally grow, and I have the potential of sending you guys 10 to 20 new patients a month. And I know it's going to make your job a little more difficult. I try to make them laugh. I know you don't want to
Right.
be answering the phone all day, and believe me, I didn't like it either when I ran the phones. But I'm sure your boss would be extremely happy to know they got more customers, and it probably would give you a raise down the road. So what do you think? Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Cool. So who do I talk to make that happen? Because, I mean, I'm sure you'd like to get a raise in the next couple months because I gave your boss some more money. Oh, yeah, yeah, let me go get Doctor blah, blah, blah. If you make them laugh and you make the gatekeeper feel good, they're going to transfer you.
They're going to transfer you every single time.
I never ever say I'm a marketing agency. I say I'm an agency that helps people grow, and I make the gatekeeper laugh, which is very easy for me to do because I tell them they're going to make more money, and I'm sure they hate their job. And they go, haha, yeah, that's true. And then, boom, I'm in. That's it.
Oh,
So
I love it. Yes. That is so true. I just tell people sometimes just to be yourself when you call them. Yeah, you know they're going to expect your call. Yeah, they're probably having a bad day. I mean, I've even done this before, and they're like, this is Betty. How may I help you? Oh, Betty, I see you're in a bad mood. I think I'm just going to have to call you back later. And by the way, can I send you some donuts or coffee or something? Because I'm sure that'll get yourself jumping and going. And she'll go, ha, ha, ha. I'm so sorry, sir. How may I help you? Then
yeah.
I'll start the conversation. And you just have to be yourself because otherwise you're just going to be this robot that they're used to all day long going click, no thank you, click, you know what I mean?
And let's
So,
not forget, I'm in an area where businesses are called all day. Like I used to work for, I'm not going to mention the name of the business, but I was in a travel business for a year and a half, and I used to actually run the marketing for that business. And I answered the phone one day, and it was an agency pitching to me. And I laughed because I pretended I didn't know what they were talking about.
right?
And it was like a robocall. It was almost like they were reading off of a sheet.
Yep.
And I kept pretending I didn't know what I was talking about. And then when they pitched me the numbers, I said, that's very funny, sir, because that's pretty much what I get paid every month. Click. It's like, the point is that you want to make it sound like you're having a conversation without, without sounding too much like a friend. You're trying to get them to take an action. So you want to be, kind, respectful, but if you're a funny person, use your humor. That's how you're going to get yourself in the door. And when I call somebody, I can tell by the tone of their voice whether or not they want to be on the phone. A lot of these high call volume places, you could tell the girl or the guy answering the phone does not want to be on the phone. So when they answer, I say, hi, my name is David. I know you guys are extremely busy. The way you're answering the phone sounds like you have 3 phones in your hand right now, and I don't even know how that's possible. And they're like, yeah, it's a very busy day here. I'm like, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I mean, if I was right next to you guys, I'd be bringing you some coffee and some something, right? And
Right.
I live in Miami, so here it's like I'll bring you some Cuban stuff and Cuban coffee, you know, because that's what keeps them going, right?
Right. It's true. It is so
So
true.
when they giggle about it and everything, I'm like, look, I'd like to talk to whomever runs the books. Boom, once again. And when I get that information, and here's another tip: if you're going in for a meeting, find out more of the culture of the business. Because when I was pitching one of the companies, I found out that the majority of the company was Colombian.
Right.
I brought them Colombian pastries and some coffee.
Wow.
They signed on the dot that day because I was so nice. It cost me $20 to do that for the whole office. It was like 10 people. Man, it was like I was like a part of the family after that because they were like, I can't believe he's never met us before. How do you know we were all Colombian? And then he brought us free food. Like, what the heck is going on? So,
I'm just gonna shake my head because I did some training in my back office, and I was telling everyone you have to find out who these people are, what they do, what kind of people they surround themselves with, what they eat. I mean, you name it. The music they love. And
go
it's
to the
I
Facebook
can't believe.
page.
Yes, yes. It's like I'm saying the same thing you've been saying. Maybe they'll listen to you. Speaking of that, we're going to an event here real soon. If you were to tell these guys, would you recommend them to go to an event at least once a year to, get to learn some stuff?
I would try to go as often as you financially can. I
Right,
mean, there's so many events now that you have to be very picky with where you go, and you got to make sure that the events you go to are catering to your needs. Like I've been invited to plenty of events that it's not that I couldn't afford it; it was just the timing was bad, and I didn't have a reason to go.
right,
And it's also location. Like I'm in Florida, and a lot of events are in Florida now, so it makes it easy for me to go. But last year, a lot of events were in Vegas. A lot of events were in, well, actually, a lot of them were just in Vegas in general or in San Diego. And I'm like, why are you guys so far? But this year, everything seems to be in Orlando. So for me, it's like I'll just go to every event that's in Orlando and drive there, right?
right,
So, and Lem, a lot of events are taking place in Austin like next year. So it's like if you can't drive to Austin,
right.
you're just missing out. I think you should at least try to go to one or two big events, like the big, big, big ones, because at least then you sort of break the ice with your. How do I put this? A lot of people get scared being around a lot of people.
Right.
Well, it's not going to get any better if you're the weird person in a 50-person event.
That's true.
You want to break that mold of I'm scared of 1,000 people. I don't know who to talk to. Go to a event with 1,000 people, you'll probably find another person just like you who
Yep.
needs to break that ice. That's what I did when I first went to an event. I went to Dr. Ben's event, the Breakout. That was one of my first major events.
Right.
Surprisingly, it was only a year ago, but there was 200 something people, and I know all the faces from Facebook, but I never talk.
Right.
Now it's like I show up at an event, it could be 1,000 people. I'm gonna find exactly who I know, and boom, I'm going right to their face. And that's exactly what I did at an event 2 months ago. First minute I got there, everyone's like, "David, what's going on?" It's like, but you're good, you're set.
Right.
So you just need to go to one, and then you need to be active with talking to people and following up with them on Facebook, because then every event you go to after that, it's going to be like a mini party for you, because you're going to know everyone that's there, they're going to know you, and you're just going to feel better. So first event you should go to is obviously this month, because it's marketing mayhem in Orlando,
Right.
and everybody's going to be there. So I don't know why you wouldn't go to that. And if you don't go to mayhem, the other event you should go to is traffic and conversion, which is the dice event, but that one's massive. So those are big events. I don't know why you wouldn't go to mayhem. It's cheaper. Conversion summit
True.
Conversion Summit's getting expensive, but definitely suggest going to one.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blast during 28th. For some of y'all don't know, we all rented out a big condo, and David, I, and a couple of other guys in the group, we're gonna have a blast. I'm just kind of wondering, are we gonna get some sleep, or we're gonna be nerding out all night long?
Every event I've gone to, I only sleep like 5 hours a day. Sometimes less. You know, you sleep 4 hours and then
Right?
you wake up, you're like, oh no, I gotta learn for 9 hours now.
Yes.
And
That's
you're chugging coffee. And it's like,
that's the way it is though, because you suck up so much information and you're talking to new people. I mean, it's crazy. And you
and
start
we're
masterminding, and I mean, it's crazy.
and we're gonna be there for what, 5, 6 days?
Oh gosh, yes, we are.
At I'm there from the 27th through the 1st, so
Oh, I'm to the second, so yeah, we're gonna be there for a good time, you know.
I'm gonna be burnt out. I'm gonna have too much information. I'm probably gonna be eating way too much. You know, but it's
Definitely.
fun. It is fun. That's
It
the
is
point.
fun. It is fun. Well, David, thank you so much. And yes, David does personal coaching. You can get with him later on that. You've got his name in the group. You want to reach out to him. He doesn't really answer to a lot of people because he's extremely busy. But you know,
I
if you
still
really,
answer.
yeah, if you're really serious about getting help from him, there is a price. I just want to let you guys know. But hey, I mean, you can reach out. He'll throw you a bone every once in a while since y'all got on here and watched this. But yeah, bro.
You get at least one tip a day, if you're lucky.
Right, 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 right. All right, my man, it's been to a whole hour. Appreciate you coming on. Wow, that's a lot of information, dude. I need to go
And
back and listen
and
to
it
this
was free.
myself. Yeah, and it was free. I mean, those ideas now, I'm thinking I need to write this down. So, yes, some of y'all, this will be recorded privately in our group. So, just to let you know, I hope you can get that. Don't panic if you didn't get on here. But anyway, David, man, thanks, bro. And I guess I'll be talking to you soon. And everyone, have a great Saturday morning. All
Have a
right,
good one.
later.